welcome again to this YouTube thing. I never actually thought that I would ever be this far into YouTube. I mean, is this considered far? Am I diving deep down the rabbit hole of the YouTube universe? Who knows? So, we're gonna be doing a reaction today. Because once again, a particular individual has come forth and decided to say some shit that shouldn't have been said, that is being dangerous once again. The video that we are going to react to is the newest one. And it wasn't that I was going and looking for this, it just kind of happened to pop up on my recommended, which makes sense because I have watched a lot of these videos to my personal dismay. But we're going to watch this and we're going to react to this. And I watched a little bit of it, about 4 minutes. It's 22 minutes long. We'll see if I can actually get through to it and watch the whole thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it that far in, but we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. So the video that we are going to watch is called "Why Demons Love You." So here we go. There it is. I'm going to throw on my headphones to listen, which make me feel like I'm some kind of air traffic control person. They're so big. They're comfy, though. They're very, very comfy. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's turn this up. Sure that this is on. I do believe that this comes through on this right here. Let's see.
If a person can do witchcraft and make a person fall in love, who's to say demons aren't doing that to you?
Okay, right off the bat. If a person can do witchcraft to make a person fall in love. So first and foremost, just to kind of put this out there, so when it comes to witchcraft or magic or anything like that, the universe doesn't allow anything to happen that shouldn't happen, right? That wasn't already potentially in the cards, right? Now, your future is never set in stone, and you know, things can change depending on, you know, the choices that you make and the people that you have around you. I think the thing that people misunderstand about witchcraft is that when you do a spell or some type of ritual work, essentially what is happening is the universe is just kind of aligning certain things for a particular thing to happen, but people always maintain their free will, right? It's not Hollywood, people. Okay, like if I can cast a spell to make someone fall in love, then that kind of says that I could cast a spell to do anything, right? And spells and ritual work are no different than, you know, prayer, right? If you believe in God, if that's your pantheon of choice, you can pray to God to align things and give you strength and affect you personally to get something right out of it, you know, but only by aligning certain things and giving you the opportunity to do it. If you do a spell or a ritual for someone to fall in love with you, it merely aligns things to make that a possibility, but that person still maintains their right of free will. Right? So first and foremost, this again shows, you know, how little this woman knows about what she's actually talking about. You see, physics and metaphysics exist within each other. We have the laws of physics which explain the world as we understand it. Now, can there be things that may change or completely erase particular laws within physics later on? Potentially, possibly, okay? But generally speaking, the scientific world has agreed that these laws, the laws of physics, are things that can be proven and shown time and time again after experiment, and experiment. That you do get the same results, or within a fraction of the same line. Metaphysics exists within physics. The metaphysical. And how that world kind of moves within ours. It exists within physics. So, though it does kind of explain certain things, they're just things there are certain things that are just Hollywood people. Like, now I understand the idea of, waving your hand and changing your hair color, going like this and changing your eye color, doing light as a feather, stiff and board, and floating and stuff like that. Sounds very attractive and, enticing. But it's fucking Hollywood. If your expectation of magic is Hollywood, then you really need to re-examine some things about yourself, because that's not how it works. It simply isn't. And anyone that sits there and tells you, oh, I've done light as a feather, stiff and a board, and it worked, and they floated in the air, they're full of shit. They're lying to you. They are lying to your face. Because the only way that's going to work is if you got 15 people or enough people with enough finger strength to actually lift somebody up. Gravity is a thing. Plain and simple. Okay? That does not mean that magic doesn't exist, but the existence of magic exists within the realm of science. It's interesting because there's a saying that goes that magic is science that we just don't understand yet. Back in the 16 and 1700s, people that used herbs, herb magic, the kitchen witches, the hedge witches, to heal people, to cure the sick. They were burnt at the stake. They were, horrible people. Those are doctors now. Those are herbalists, right? That understand how medicine functions. Penicillin was made from mold. So understand where the realm of magic lies. And please, for the love of all things sacred, don't fall for this hogwash, this bullshit. Let's keep going.
Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for clicking in interest, and thank you so much for being a part of this channel if you've been watching me for some time. If you haven't seen me before, welcome. If you've seen me before, welcome back. My name is Melinda Lyons. I'm a psychic medium, a near-death experiencer, and a demonologist. Today in this video, we're going to discuss and talk about why people love demons. Why? Why? I'm going to tell you why. So
this is assuming, just off the bat, like as always, this is bringing forth the assumption that it's just, why do people, right? It's almost like it's a general consensus that there are so many people out there that love demons. Now, this could be based off of one of the previous videos I was talking about the imagery. There's a lot of videos I wanted to react to. I just haven't because honestly, my brain hurts and I feel the unbelievable urge to vomit every time I watch one of her videos. But anyway, I digress. This could be in reference to the idea that, so many people are kind of like, your inner demons. There's a short little video talking about like your inner demons and how, you shouldn't say I'm fighting my inner demons. First and foremost, you're fighting your inner demons. This is a very Christian ideology that simple phrasing like that can bring something forth. It's coming from the same people that saying Jesus Christ or God damn it is, saying the Lord's name in vain, and that you can be punished for doing such a thing, right? And once you reach the pearly gates, you can be denied access to heaven for doing such a thing, perpetually and in large amounts during your life. So I do believe that when you try to bring something to you, like you have the intention. Intention is important, people. Like it is extremely important when it comes, especially when it comes to magic or anything in your life. Intention is important, right? Now, you can still have good intentions and you can do bad things, right? And you still did a bad thing, but you did it with the right intention. That doesn't make the action correct, but it makes the reason behind the action a positive one, right? So it's a very thin line, right? And there's a lot of gray areas. It's kind of like the idea that, okay, killing is wrong. We can all agree that killing is wrong. But if you kill somebody in self-defense or to protect somebody else, were you more in the moral right? Were you morally correct in doing that? You were doing it to protect somebody else's life or protect your own life. But the fact remains you still killed somebody. So the action doesn't change from being wrong to good, but the intention is where kind of like where that lies. And we even see that in our own laws, right? If you live in the United States, we can see that in our own laws that, there are certain situations, like if you kill in self-defense, that, you'll be let go because, it was done to protect yourself, right? Not out of, negative intention of trying to actually cause harm to somebody else, but stop harm from happening to you. So the idea is if you cause harm to stop harm, right? It's a very philosophical question. And so the thing is, the reason why intention is so important is if you just say, I'm just really dealing with like a lot of inner demons right now, your intention isn't to say, ooh, we need demons, summon them. No. Intention is important. What are your intentions? Is that your intention? Are you saying you're fighting your demons to summon a demon? Probably not. Don't worry so much about the things that you say. Semantics. Here we go.
If you've been watching me for some time, or if you're new and you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of videos I upload every week. Why do people love demons? That's a good question. Why? Why in the world would a person love a malevolent force that's so evil? What's wrong with that person?
And if you guys watched my video about demons, I went into grave detail of where the word demon comes from. And when her definition, the Judeo-Christian definition, which is the definition that she is using, all of the information that she provides comes from the Judeo-Christian pantheon. All of it. Okay? So if you watch that video, I went into the actual history of where the word comes from, because it's in order to, kind of be able to fully understand something, you kind of need to understand where it comes from. And, there was a long list of things that needed to be talked about, that particular subject. So I made a separate video about it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'll link it somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know. Just go find it. I don't have a lot of videos. And daemon, comes from the Greek daemon, right? Which is not a bad thing. They were helpful spirits. But we can trace back the word demon, the modern English demon, to the old Greek daemon. So, food for thought, people.
That's what a lot of people would think. I can't speak for every person who worships demons or works with them. But I will say this. I know what it's like to love a demon because I did once. Back when I made my video on how I summoned King Payman, that was a very difficult experience for me to come out and talk about. And boy, was my face way too close to the camera. I changed a lot even in the past few months. It was really not easy to come out and talk about. Being able to talk about what you are interested in or what you're afraid of are two very vulnerable things. Coming out and talking about my experience with Payman put me in a lot of dangerous situations, even from people that worship demons and work with them. We as a society, as people in humanity, have a responsibility to respect people despite our differences. The problem is that people that worship and work with demons do not respect this reality check. They do not.
How fucking dare you sit there, you pompous bitch, and say that people that worship demons, which would be Luciferians, or in her textbook idea, Satanists in general, that we do not respect other people. How fucking dare you? And this right here is the reason I say that she's dangerous. How dare you say that people that worship demons or that are, devil worshippers or Satanists, because we've already seen her definition of what a devil worshipper is. It's all Satanists. So when she says demon worshiper, she's talking about all Satanists. We already know this. She doesn't draw the differential. She drew a differential in one video because I called her out. And you all know that. You have all watched that video. And if you haven't, go watch it. She only drew that line, that differential, one time because I called her out. Because somebody brought attention to the video or she happened to catch the video. So she made certain corrections off of one other video. How dare you sit there and say that these people don't respect human life in general? How dare you? Because I'll tell you right now, some of the people that I know that are really, really into Satanism, and even a couple of Luciferians, right? Like I know I draw the differential line all the time between Luciferian and, Satanist. And the thing is that just because I draw that differential line doesn't mean that one is good and one is bad. It's just different. And the Luciferians and the Satanists that I know are some of the best people I know. They're amazing people. They're super respectful. They're chill. They're relaxed. They're fun to hang out with. It's like the saying that says that You know, some of the worst criminals in the world wear a suit. You know, because everybody's worried about the people that have the piercings and tattoos. Some of the coolest people I know have tattoos, like are covered in tattoos. Some of the coolest people I know and most understanding and reasonable individuals that I've ever had the pleasure of crossing paths with are Luciferians and Satanists. And it's shit like this that is dangerous, because she just drew a line in the sand saying that you people like myself and others, don't respect humanity. We don't respect the reality check. Keep going. Yes, I'm upset. If that wasn't blatantly obvious.
Respect this dignity that should be given to all people and to all beings.
Doesn't respect this dignity that should be given to all people and all beings. We'll get more into that in a second.
My higher self at this moment, because I do not want to say anything wrong here. And more importantly, I want to...
She doesn't want to say anything wrong, but Ms. Lyons, I think that you have done crossed that fucking bridge. You have already crossed that bridge. And boy, oh boy, with this video, have you crossed it further than you have ever crossed it before from the videos that I've seen. Because you have blatantly come out and said that us on the left-hand path don't respect the dignity of life. I'll go one step further. I need to go to my altar for a second. I'll be right back. Here is the Satanic Bible. Now, the reason I'm pulling this out is this is the doctrine that most people, including myself, kind of go by for kind of like the philosophical aspect of things. There's a lot of learning to be done in here. Lots and lots of learning. Anyway, what I want to share with you on page 89 in the Satanic Bible, so I'm giving you the page number so you can look it up yourself. Okay? We're going to read from that in a second. I want to keep going. 1 second, because it's important.
Be vigilant in this message. The reason why people fall in love with a demon is similar to what happened to me. But the problem is a lot of these people don't recollect, or they do and they are in denial, or they're so hypnotized by these entities. Demons have a powerful magic to them. They have forces beyond our recollection. They have forces beyond our ability to comprehend. They are extremely powerful. So ancient that civilizations way before us that have died off, they died off because they kept killing their own people through sacrificial deeds. They were worshiping malevolent forces that were demanding blood. That's my professional opinion, because...
Professional opinion. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Lyons, but your professional opinion is worth absolute shit. So there are many societies and ancient cultures that believed in human sacrifice. The Egyptians, the Aztecs, the Mayans, even particular tribes of Native Americans very early on. And that just kind of goes through. It's just the reason why societies like that have kind of faded off into the background is simply evolution and change. The ancestors of Mexico, before speaking Spanish and the invasion of the Spanish, who was here when the Spaniards came here to Mexico? The Aztecs. And why did the Aztecs culture disappear? Not because they died off, because they killed each other, because the Spaniards came in and took over and showed them a different way of life. Now, grant you, the Aztecs at that time had to fight off the Spaniards to regain their independence. But at that point, the culture had changed drastically. They had exposure to something else, a more modern day culture. And with many cultures that have died off, this is what happens. Egyptians haven't stopped existing. It's just they don't kill each other anymore. They don't sacrifice each other anymore. Why? Because the society has advanced. Anyway, so going down to the sacrifice aspect of this, because she's specifically talking about demons and demon worshippers, and as we all know that when she talks about demon worshippers, she's talking about the general idea of like everybody is a Satanist that possibly worships a demon. So the Satanic Bible by Anton Sander-Levey, page 89 from the top. Under no circumstances would a Satanist sacrifice any animal or baby. For centuries, propagandists of the right-hand path have been paddling over the supposed sacrifices of small children and voluptuous maidens at the hands of diabolists. It would be thought that anyone reading or hearing of these heinous accounts would immediately question their authenticity, taking into consideration the biased source of the stories. On the contrary, as with all holy lies, which are accepted without reservation, this assumed modus operandi of the Satanist persists to this day. There are sound and logical reasons why the Satanist could not perform such sacrifices. Man, the animal, is the Godhead to the Satanist. The purest form of cardinal existence reposes in the bodies of animals and human children who have not grown old enough to deny themselves natural desires. They can perceive things that the average adult human can never hope to. Therefore, the Satanist holds these beings in a sacred regard, knowing he can learn much from these natural magicians of the world. But, we're into human sacrifices and killing animals and, not respecting other human beings. But the only person that has been, I feel, extremely disrespectful from the get-go about people that she doesn't even know is this woman. Let's go a little bit further.
Because of too much research to show the proof that they were not worshiping benevolent gods, but malevolent ones. The evidence is in the pudding when you can see the reality of what happens when you worship something or work with
Evidence. See, this is the problem with someone like Mrs. Lyons here, or Miss Lyons, or hell. Here's the issue. She talks very highly of the evidence that she holds for everything that she says, but provides you with absolutely none of it. Just bits and pieces that you can generally kind of pick up, and then she kind of tries to fill in the gaps. If you watch her videos and you do not realize that she thinks you a fool and says whatever she wants, and I have shown video after video, she plays all of you as idiots. because I am not making things up and pulling them from the clouds or my ass to give you information. Though I may not list sources every single video, I'll tell you exactly where I got everything from. And you can look it all up and find it like that. I tell you that demon comes from ancient Greek daemon. Look it up. That's specific. That's very specific. You won't find anything to the contrary. However, when you begin to research the things that Mrs. Lyons is saying in her videos, very quickly you begin to find contradictions and misinformation. And the worst of all, her high horse, pompous, judgmental personality. To say that she knows that those of the left-hand path do not respect people simply because it's the left-hand path. I tell you, and to anyone that thinks that, you know nothing. I'm going to leave it at that before my blood pressure gets too high and I die of a heart attack here at my desk. So, I thank you all once again for being here with me with this reaction. It seems I can always make 30 minutes of content out of 3 minutes of one of her videos. Thank you. And maybe I'll do more. I don't know. You guys have been asking for part 2 on the Oracle Tarot thing. Or the Oracle Tarot, the Occult Tarot thing. And I still need to get around to that. Because I did mention that I would be doing it. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this week I'll manage to push something out. I could do the second half of the Occult Tarot. If you guys know of anyone else that you'd like me to react to, let me know. I do like setting the record straight. Or even finding people that I agree with. So anyway, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.